Welcome to another episode of the Chaotic Sports Podcast. My name is Chris Sarda. That is Angelo Saboro. We also have co-host Zachary Sarda, who's been on here for a while. He may say random... Don't do the cry thing that you've done the last two.
I mean,
we did the fake cry thing the last two takes. It just seemed wrong.
It was perfect, but I mean, this is like the third episode we've done in 3 minutes.
Yeah, we keep redoing them. Zachary Sarda is here. As you know, this is a DIY... worst podcast on the internet. We just do our thing. So Zachary may just randomly say stuff.
He might throw a book or a football at us or at the...
Yeah. I mean, if we wanted to do a professional podcast, there's literally microphones and a computer and a mixer over there. We could have waited 30 minutes. The baby would have been gone. And we could have done a professional podcast.
No, I think you like having them as part of the podcast.
I do.
So, I mean, that's why you woke him up. And like tell them to join the podcast, get in, get out. You know what I mean? He'll give a little something to the podcast. He'll throw a little something in there.
His sports opinions are already more valid than yours. You have some crazy ideas.
I mean, they're valid, but we don't know what they are yet. Right?
Yeah, we don't know what they are.
They're in his head. They're just.
We know that he's a Vegas Knights fan because there's evidence from last season during the Stanley Cup. I was posting pictures of him in Vegas Knights clothes you bought for him.
Okay, so what did
actually and other people?
His two favorite teams are the Knights and the Dodgers.
I hope that he's going to be a Dodger fan. I hope that he's going to be a Packer fan. Yeah. I'm okay with hockey being different, and he could be whatever other fan he wants. We're trying to do. This is the other reason this podcast is very unprofessional. We're doing a podcast. There's a baby walking around.
There's a baby walking around.
We're also trying to watch a baseball game. So as I record this,
I mean, as you record this, it's 2-2 in like the 10th, right?
Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Now the Dodgers can't win every game.
No.
But part of this podcast was going to be about the Dodgers. Let's just roll right into it. About how just dominant the Dodgers have been the last few weeks. 9-1 in their last 10. I think they've won 7. I think 8 in a row as of yesterday. I think yesterday was actually the 8th in a row.
That's kind of why I thought they would lose today. Just lose one, and then they'll come back and win another 6 or 7 in a row.
Yeah. And the Diamondbacks aren't that good, actually. So sweeping them wouldn't have been a surprise. They swept the Phillies, so they're part of the reason the Phillies are in a 6-game skid.
And they won without Bellinger a few days ago. That was good.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with the Dodgers. Now Bellinger is having an MVP season, and Ryu's having a Cy Young season through the first 2 months. But the thing is that there's so many players that can contribute on that team. You know, I mean, before Bellinger started playing like he did these couple months, there was really no MVP candidate on the team.
It was just
a bunch of great players, a bunch of all-stars.
Like Seager stepping up or Turner.
Yeah, Seager was hurt last year, and he's had a slow beginning, but he's been playing well since. You know, the last couple of weeks he's actually been playing pretty well.
And they had good pitching, but
they're just built really well. There's a good system of next man up.
Kershaw and Hill was pitching good like last year, right?
Yeah, no one guy is sucking up all the money.
The Ryu one I'm kind of surprised about.
Well, he's always been a pretty good pitcher, but he's gone to the next level. But just the way the Dodgers are structured, there's no one guy just sucking up a lot of the money like a Mike Trout or a.
Well, that's going to change, though.
Mike Trout's going to continue to be paid, and he deserves it.
The man that's going to suck up the Dodger money is going to be Bellinger.
In a while, but do not be surprised if Bellinger, I don't know how much more control. I think they might have like 3 or 4 more years team control on him. Do not be surprised if they let Cody Bellinger leave. Because the Dodgers are very big on farm system, and they're also very big on no big contracts. They wanted to sign Bryce Harper for only 5 years. They were going to give him more money per year.
That's because he was struggling a little bit.
No, they just don't want 10-year contracts.
Yeah, it was just a high contract, but also Harper was kind of struggling a little bit.
No, it's not the struggling because they went after him.
Well, they're scared to give him that much.
They're not going to give anyone 10 years. No one will. If Mike Trout becomes available, they're not going to do a 10-year contract for Mike Trout even.
10 years is crazy. But you would never want to get rid of Bellinger, a guy that might...
I don't want to get rid of Bellinger, but they're not doing...
Bellinger could possibly win the MVP of the league this year and win it a couple more times. They're not going to want to get rid of him.
That's fine. but they're also not going to sign anyone to a 10-year deal.
Well,
is what I'm saying.
I never said 10-year deal, but you're gonna have to give him something. You're gonna give him an 8-year deal or something. I mean, they're gonna give him something. Oh, yeah. That's a jack. Nope.
No jack.
Triple.
Oh, it might be an inside the park.
A live triple though. No inside the park.
Yeah.
Bottom 11.
Look how excited he is. Who hit that?
That was like dead center.
Who was that?
We're off topic here, but
well, we're talking about how great the Dodgers are. We're watching them lose in the bottom of the 11th.
That was.
I don't even know who that is. I can't even recognize his face, and I'm supposed to know all about the NL West.
Escobar or something like shortstop or something. That was dead center. It looked like it was out.
Yeah, but he's a small guy, 400 feet. Anyway,
we're talking about a 10-year, 8-year. I wasn't really talking about he's going to get a 10-year.
Well, I mean, they're going to try to keep him. They're going to try to keep him, but if someone's going to make him break, if he continues to play like this, and in 3 or 4 years he's continuing to play like this, someone's going to give him 10 years.
Yeah, that's his prime, I mean? Though. Like right now is his prime.
Yeah, no, it's not. Not right now. It's not his prime. He's only 23, and normally people hit their primes 28, 29, 30. You know, the truth is, let me tell you this: as a Dodger fan, they're probably going to have this great year. They're going to look good, etc., etc.
Yeah,
but I still think they lose the World Series.
They're going to play somebody in the World Series this year.
That's just going to beat them like every year. Dude, that's the world's worst celebration. I don't know who it was. They didn't have the fucking Gatorade. He's running out with a bottle of Gatorade. Like a 20-ounce bottle to open it up and spray it on him. That's the lamest thing I've ever seen.
No more a cooler. It's just a little kid's bottle of Gatorade to pour over somebody.
That's what it was. It looked like a kid's bottle of Gatorade that you buy a little 6-pack of.
Well, it's not the gas station Gatorade.
The Dodgers lost. They probably won't lose for another week. But hey, it happens. What can you do?
I mean, they were destined to lose.
Duplantier, I forget his name. Duplantier, or whatever his name is, for Arizona, pitched actually great. Had 7 strikeouts. He probably would have pitched another inning or 2, except they had a runner on third, and they had to pinch hit for him. So, hey, sometimes you lose, you know what I mean? Maeda actually pitched an incredible game, only gave up 1 run. I think he had 6 or 7 innings, so he still got a quality start. But you lose in the 11th, bottom of the 11th. Actually, in the middle of talking about how the Dodgers are unbeatable, so I guess I deserve that.
I mean, did you say that? What kind of idiot would say they're unbeatable? I told you an hour ago that they're probably going to lose today.
I did say in a text that they're never going to lose again.
I mean, I thought you were just being.
Of course, I never thought they were going to lose. Of course, I know they're going to lose again, but
as you text that they're never going to lose again, you thought they would probably win another 6 in a row or something.
I thought they would win today just because close game and they could put up runs at any time. You know what the Dodgers remind me of? They remind me a lot of Golden State. The way that they could be down, and then they could just put up 3, 4, 5 runs in an inning or something out of nowhere.
So they can come down.
They did that
10,
to the Mets.
14 points.
Yeah, they did that to the Mets. They did that to the Mets the other day.
Or actually, the Dodgers are kind of like the Warriors in another way, that they'll be like just cruise through the season. And they'll pick it up in the playoffs.
You cruise through the season.
Yeah, you pick it up. You cruise through the season. And then playoff time, now it's go time. Let's get to the World Series. Or in Golden State's, talking about Golden State, it'd be like get to the playoffs, and now they're cruise to the NBA Finals, take care of business, and give me a size for my ring, you know? So it'd be the teams, certain teams can cruise to win, and certain teams need to, like, fight through to get to.
Yeah, the difference, though, is that the Dodgers are made up of a bunch of really, really good players, and Golden State's made up of all-stars. Anyway, let's move right into Golden State, because now I got a bad taste of baseball in my mouth.
The rest of this podcast is going to
not talk about baseball at all.
If you thought the first 9 minutes of this podcast was bad, listen to the next 9 minutes, because the Dodgers just lost, and this guy is on a downward spiral right now.
No, so, they put a pie in his face.
Let's talk about Golden State.
Fuck the Diamondbacks.
Well,
so lame. Why are you putting pies in people? It's not even funny.
Well, first they put a kid's Gatorade, and then they put a pie.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks are just...
Well, did he know the pie was coming?
Yeah, he did. He took off his headset so you can get a pie in his face.
Well, it's not as funny if you know it's coming. The whole point of the pie in the face is a sneak from behind or not knowing that it's coming.
It's preposterous. Anyway, this is what I get for watching the Diamondbacks feed instead of the Dodgers feed.
All right, let's jump to the NBA and Golden State, man.
The narrative for me, all we hear about the last 3 years is Golden State is unbeatable. Kevin Durant went to the team. They were already champions. They're the best team. They might be the best team ever. They have no problem. They're going to have no problems getting to the finals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're too loaded. And now here we are in the beginning of June. We're about to get to Game 3 of the finals. And what situation are we in? Golden State is actually vulnerable. There's actually drama. There's a good chance that they lose. They're playing off their back foot. They got 2 of their best players that might be out.
So Klay
Boogie Cousins, Boogie is not all 100% there, although he's playing and contributing.
But he barely played at all anyways, except for like last
Curry,
game.
it doesn't matter. He's still good. And Curry, even though he got hot at the end of last game 2, he was like looking sick and not playing great, and actually didn't look good the first half of the last game.
Klay pulled his like hamstring or something.
And then Klay is last we heard as of this recording, Klay was lobbying to play, but he may not play. So
the
now
game is tonight.
Now suddenly you have a storyline. The Golden State is too loaded. They have too many all-stars. They're too good. Yet here we are. No matter how good you could play, the injury bug could hit you.
No, but who's going to watch? Who's going to watch if it's Golden State won by 50 the first game and 40 by the second?
Well, people aren't watching now. It's actually the lowest ratings that ever or in many years. But
that's because it's a Canada thing too, probably.
Well, what we talked about the Canada thing, probably. But
who's going to watch if it's like smash after smash? So now the NBA has to work up some drama, say some stuff like maybe, hey, Klay, say you're a little hurt, or Durant, don't come back until.
I mean, they're
going to have. Like
are we going to talk about sports, or are you going to go into your weird conspiracy?
No, it's not conspiracy.
Do we need to do an Alex Jones sports fucking show for you? Of course, they're not.
No, Durant could have came and played a few games ago, but we got to have a little drama. He's going to come in and save the day. Game 5 or Game 6, he's going to throw up 40.
That's the way. That's exactly the way you get people to watch the NBA, by taking the best player in the league out.
Drama. You need drama.
That's the way you do it. You take the best. You don't let the best player in the NBA.
No, you don't want 40-point wins in Game 1 and 2.
I didn't know we were putting on our tinfoil hats, Angela.
You want a little drama. So now you want the game to be like you would want it to be 2-2, Game 5, a couple close games, which one of the games was close or whatever. You know what I mean? You need something. You just can't have Golden State win these games so good. So you need basically. I'm not saying the NBA did this like they made they're creating conspiracies.
You made it sound like that.
No, I'm just saying it's working out to be that. Okay. It's a good thing.
Okay, so that's what I was saying, but you switched over to the NBA did it.
No, I'm just saying they're enjoying the drama of like possibly Durant comes back. It's a tight series. All of a sudden the Durant comes back to help him win.
Probably puts up 40.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
So, but nonetheless, this is sort of an argument against like Fort not letting teams become so loaded, because this is about as loaded as you can get. I mean, the only team I think might be better, just way more loaded, was that Bulls team with Pippen and Rodman and Kukoc and some other guy named Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think this team's better than that team too. If you want me to be absolutely honest, especially with the style of play today where you just pull up and hit threes. I've never seen a team. Every other game, Curry is having what looks like that Reggie Miller game where he scored 18 in 8 seconds. Like Curry just will put up. Curry had 33 against the Rockets when he had 0 at the beginning of the half. So I think this is the best team ever.
Isn't it cool though that the Golden State, they're one of the best teams, but it was built by them. I mean, they just added one player.
Yeah,
but
they added the best player in the league.
It's still like it was just created by them, just drafts. And it's not like they added like 3-4 free agents. It wasn't Miami. It wasn't all. It was just added one player.
I agree with that. So they added the best player. But without Kevin Durant, they're probably, if they're healthy, they're probably still the best team in the league.
So it's kind of cool.
I do like that a lot. So anyway, now we're in a situation where you didn't pick Toronto to win this, but now, with what you know in the situation you're in, do you think Toronto wins the series? Do you? I know you inside of you would like to pick them.
No, I mean it just happens to be that I felt this was going to happen. I mean, as far as like Toronto, Golden State finals.
No, we got that part.
No, but I'm saying I was thinking Golden State would win it.
Of course, but I'm saying now with the information we have in the situation,
you're saying, do I want Toronto to win?
Well, I know you probably want Toronto to win, but do you think now with the information you have...
I want Golden State to win.
You do? Why?
Yeah. I like Golden State.
I thought you were rooting for Toronto.
No, I mean, I like Kawhi big time. I've rooted for Toronto all year. I've rooted for them to get to the finals. But, I mean, I like Golden State. I like Durant. I like Curry.
So forget about who you like. Now with what you understand with injuries and the situation we're in, the game, we're tied 1-1. Clay might not play. Do you still think Golden State's going to take it?
Yeah, because Toronto's a little injured. I mean, Kawhi's hobbling around if you haven't noticed.
Yeah,
and that was
in all the injuries
4 or 5 games ago.
Yeah,
just by watching, you're like, dude, Kawhi's just limping around. I mean, he still played good, but he didn't look right.
He hasn't taken over a game yet.
No, even though he dunked on the Greek Freak with his left hand, it was like he barely got up and dunked on him. If you saw Kawhi from years ago, he would just be flying in the air.
We saw him
Jordan
get hurt.
Or something,
he got hurt, I think, the second to last game of the Milwaukee series. And he hasn't been the same, but he's also a very smart player. So I think he knows how to deal with whatever injury he's dealing with. Still out there on the floor.
And he's so athletic. He's got the good defense. His hands are big that he could still be out there hobbled and be good.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this. If and this is a real cop-out because I think a lot of people will switch over. If Toronto wins today, I'm going to pick them to win the series. If Golden State somehow pulls it out today.
So, you would say, if Toronto won today, though, wouldn't you think Golden State definitely wins Game 4 and it's a tied series, but you would still say Toronto's going to win the series?
Yeah, I think then they're just momentum. Then they'll get another game
okay, so
at home.
Here's what you're saying, though. If Toronto wins today, you're basically saying that Golden State can't go in Toronto and win Game 7, which is kind of crazy. Wouldn't if any team could go in to another team's building and win Game 7, wouldn't it be Golden State? With Durant?
Well, when's Durant coming back? He hasn't even practiced yet. He hasn't even gone to a practice. Everyone keeps saying he's coming back next game.
Durant, if it was the first week of the regular season, Durant wouldn't be coming back at all. But it's the playoffs, so he's definitely coming back.
We've been waiting for him to come back.
I know, but they're waiting until they need him.
They need him now.
No, you don't want to bring him back too early.
Klay Thompson is hurt.
You apparently don't need him now. What's the series right now?
1-1.
Okay, so they're still okay. It's not like a must win. So you're telling me if it was Game 6, let's just say Game 7, Durant was 80%, 85, 90%. They're it's game time, even though I think he's going to come back Game 5 or 6. I mean,
well, my question is he 85, 90%, or are they just hiding it? Does he really have a bad strain?
Oh, he's a fool. He's messed up. But he's also had a few weeks to rest, right? Maybe 10 days. How long
hasn't even practiced, though.
Well, you don't want to pull nothing. Practiced. You don't want to pull nothing.
Hasn't even been in a shoot around.
He just needed that.
He's just been MIA. Has he even been on the sidelines?
Baseball is different. Durant probably has a court at his house, right? It's not like he has to be shooting around in front of media members. So he's probably been shooting at the Golden State facility with nobody there at 2 in the morning or at his house. In baseball, so what I'm saying is in baseball, if you don't hit live pitching or you don't play like that for weeks, you might be in trouble in Game 7 of the World Series. But basketball, you're telling me Durant can't just light it up one game? He doesn't need to keep
then he has the whole rest
rhythm,
of the year.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's fine. I don't know when Durant's coming. As far as I'm concerned, when he comes is when I care. Okay. I mean, I guess I got a little scared when you said, okay, even if Toronto wins today, that doesn't mean that in 4 games that Golden State can't win 2 of those or something. So, I mean, it's hard.
I say Durant plays Game 5.
Yeah, I don't care about when Durant comes. I'm saying that when I said that Toronto would win today, this is what I say when you don't pay attention because you're looking at the fucking stats. Attention. You didn't hear me say what I said.
After you said if Toronto wins today, you think they're going to win the title.
Yeah, but I said when you told me that's what I just said. When you told me that, and then you told me what you thought, it makes me think, oh man, of course Golden State can win 2 more and could win 1 in Game 7 if it got that far.
So
maybe I'm turning it around. That's what I
said.
Yeah.
It made you think about that.
Yeah, rethink it. It's Golden State's so good, even if it's just Curry. I mean, they could put up 18 anytime.
Curry and
Draymond and Boogie. And Boogie's just going to get healthier for this series. I mean, he's an injury-prone mess.
Boogie's just kind of there. I mean, he's still good, but he's just not himself. But it's still good.
But I'm saying that he could be really good. He could just get over this little, you know what I mean? He's already over the injury. He's just rusty now.
Thompson's if Thompson doesn't play, I mean, obviously, Draymond needs to go for like 20 and 20 and 8 assists or something. I mean, he needs to have a really good game, Draymond, if Thompson's out and Durant's out, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and he's gotten used to not being a scorer, so...
I mean, Curry will need to throw up 30, 40 if they don't have Thompson and Durant, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So anyway, but when this comes out, we'll already know. So this is like a preview. This is just us talking.
So what's your call for the game today?
Toronto to win.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that they win whether. I think they win whether. And I'm just throwing it out there because it's hard to say. It's hard to say. And I think they win whether what's his name is out there or not.
Okay, I'm gonna
because
say,
he's going to be playing hurt.
Who's what's his name? Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah. If Clay's out there or not, I think that they win anyway. Because then if he goes out there, he's not 100%.
Okay, I'd say Golden State wins today. But it's like a really, really close game, and it's going to be 92 to 90. Golden State wins.
I respect that.
It's like
I feel that
game.
too. And the thing is that the point is that there's actual drama here. It's not Golden State walking in and waltzing through.
No, so it's going to make it like we want to. Don't we want to watch? Like I would want to watch tonight anyway. But I'm saying you're right. A little bit of the drama makes me just a tiny bit more excited to watch the game tonight.
Yeah,
because you're going to see who's playing, who's not. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah. So something else that happened. So a little bit of announcement, and I still got to develop this. So I can get you here once a week, and we get our podcast in. It's 30 minutes to an hour, whatever it is. But sometimes big stuff happens over the weekend, and one of those things I want to talk about, we're going to talk about in a minute. We're going to talk a little quick heavyweight boxing, and. My idea is that maybe Mondays, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live. It's going to be video only on YouTube. It's not going to be on the podcast streams. Going to go live and then just hit up, review what happened in sports the week before, and then preview what's going to happen in the week.
I saw you that something came out that you mentioned that.
When did I mention that? I thought I just made that up. Did I tweet something?
No, you did. I mean, I just never brought it up to you. No, something on YouTube or something. It was like Monday, Chaotic Sports going live or something. And
I did.
It's like you did something,
and
then you didn't.
And then I just got drunk on Sunday and didn't.
Well, you didn't have it. You didn't have it come out or nothing. You know?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the problem. And we just went live for a comic book call on a different channel. So here's the thing with going live is that if I go live on my own,
yeah,
you got to be a little bit more prepared. Like this is a conversation. We could bullshit. I could talk shit to you. We can like go back and forth.
Why would it be Monday, though? We could also do a Wednesday live Chaotic Sports.
We could do it live, too, but the podcast is a little bit easier because I get it set up, right?
Yeah.
I want to post more for Chaotic Sports.
Okay, that's cool.
But the problem is, do I got to turn this off, dude? Because
No.
I just said something else, you reacted to something completely different.
No, dude, just turn yourself off, man. You don't need to turn nothing else off. So, what you're talking about it going live.
So I go alone. And it isn't like this where it's a conversation. We banter, we talk shit. I tell you you're watching TV.
Well, you talk to yourself all the time.
I do. But when you talk and you're doing a show live, you got to be more prepared.
You have to be prepared, but the
like
key,
I got to be able to say things.
Yeah, the key to going live is to not realize that you're going live. Just go, let it flow. You don't want to focus on you're live. You're live.
So the good news is no one gives a shit.
No, there's
about the show.
2 people watching.
On YouTube, there won't be that many at the beginning. So I can iron out the mistakes if I'm saying
unless we get the thousands of people that listen to our podcast to go.
They
might.
Maybe I should have led with this story, but I can iron out the mistakes, all the likes and all the you knows and all the uhs. It's easy not to do that in a conversation with you.
Yeah,
but imagine going live. Like I said last podcast, I don't love Colin Cowherd the things he says, but I think he's very skilled in his delivery.
Okay. He also has a lot of preparation.
That's what I'm saying. I got to prepare.
He has a lot of experience. I mean, that helps.
The experience is big too, but I got to prepare. So
yeah.
I got to use Sunday, prepare 2 hours of the stuff that happened, the big stories, talk about them. I got to design. I don't want to fucking call it a hot take, but I got to design a take on it. I can't just be a reporter. I don't want to be a reporter. I want to talk. This is talk radio.
No, you want to go to church on Sunday.
Have some things that you know I'll never go to church.
Hang out with your kids. Take them to the park.
You know I'll never go to church.
And then don't say take like you said. You're gonna just be your Monday, manic Monday.
Yeah.
Chaotic Sports.
And I don't have to think of a hot take. I already think things about all these issues. Yeah. I already have my opinions about them. Right? Work throw it up live. At the beginning it'll be with that bad camera that we just used. the webcam, but I have to get a better webcam. And then just do Chaotic Sports that way.
Yeah.
And then we have one more thing up, right?
No, that's good, man. So you're going to have a Manic Monday, and then we'll have a Thursday show.
And then the Thursday's the podcast. And then eventually what I want to do is you and me go live. Especially after... So I would want a show that's live.
Yeah.
Maybe... I'd love to do it every day, but maybe a 10 a.m. But then we have to be good. We have to always do it at a certain time. And then we have day jobs. We have all our other shit. So we got to make sure that works out.
Yeah.
Eventually, I want us to have our live show. But then I also want to do a live show after big events. So live show after the NBA Finals, whoever wins. Live show after the World Series. Live show after a big boxing or UFC fight.
It could be like that. So
reaction, and then the whole hour show's about that.
It could be after anything, basically.
Well, anything big.
So
Super Bowl,
World Cup
championship.
Or it could be but Super Bowl, but it could also be like you're telling me an NFL playoff game's not big.
So there too. So what? I don't want to fucking rank the games. Whatever's a big game, I want to go live after those big games too. That's the plan.
Aren't you such a big sports fan that everything's big to you? So like a big Dodger game is not worth going live? Or you just talk? Okay, so you're just talking
big games. Games is that's what we're shooting for. So big fights, big football games, World Cup would be great.
That's great because
World Cup's a great idea.
Yeah, that's great because I only have to. That means I only have to do like 4 shows a year with you. So that's awesome. Just like what's every 4 years World Cup?
Oh yeah, I know.
And then one Super Bowl a year. That's great.
No, I'm putting your ass to work. You got the podcast to do.
You said anything live like big.
Hold on, we got the week. Then I want the weekly show that we do live.
Now,
Weekly YouTube show.
You're changing it up.
But then I also want an on-the-fly show for big games.
Well, that's not in the contract.
Huh?
That's not in the contract.
Dude, the contract is that you do what I say or I whip your ass.
The contract is not that. The contract is only through 2025 with Chaos and Propaganda and Chaotic Sports.
Oh, we didn't talk about your contract.
Yeah, no. That's only why I said that. That's
I forgot.
No, you talked.
What did the contract say? I forgot. I made it up.
I don't know. That's why I just.
Your contract with Chaotic Sports.
No, it's like Khabib's.
Oh yeah, because Khabib. Oh, we should talk about that.
Yeah,
because Khabib has a GSP.
What was that?
You asked for.
No, I actually wanted to mention that to you because I didn't even see that.
Oh well, you should have just read the article.
I didn't read the article.
Oh, good job. Thanks.
Eventually, I'll read it.
Thanks, dude. So Khabib signed a new contract with the UFC. Let's just move right into fighting. I love to talk about my plans for this, and all we do is the podcast. So Khabib signed a new contract with the UFC for however many fights. I think it was 5. But there's a GSP clause in there about he can renegotiate the contract if somehow a GSP fight
to make more money.
Yeah.
Because, the UFC was smart because even though Khabib's he's not like Conor as far as like getting people to watch but
he's gotten to that level.
He's
now.
So good.
Not the level of Conor, but he's jumped. He's tripled.
He has jumped. Yeah. And he's just so good that the UFC had to be like, this is like our best guy now, just dominated Conor. They need to have Khabib in the big fight.
He's a 100% new pay-per-view draw. Not as big as Conor, but now people know who he is. So he's one of their bigger draws now. Conor helped that.
Yeah. And you might need to have him for GSP. That would be a huge fight. Maybe Conor fights him again. And they need to have Khabib,
Yeah, and GSP, he's fighting Poirier in a couple months, which is actually a really good fight. Poirier, people forget that when he was like a mid-level fighter, he was very young. He made it to the UFC very quickly. He was an exciting fighter. Last couple years, I'm not saying he's going to beat Khabib. I'm saying he deserves to be there. I'm saying that he's elite.
He definitely deserves to be
there.
But does he have any chance? And I know you're going to say yes.
Yeah, he has a chance because of the knockout power. And he's good on the ground too. Now Khabib's one of the most elite wrestlers ever.
His only chance would be to knock him out quick, or Khabib's going to manhandle him and beat him.
Yeah, but the truth is that Poirier has a better chance getting down on the ground than Conor does. Conor can get beat by a lot of people on the ground. So I think Poirier has a better chance at beating Khabib than Conor does. With that said, I still think Khabib's going to win, but Poirier is going to put on a great show. And he should be, if you were just on exciting fights alone, he's a top 5 guy.
It's gonna be a big fight.
Yeah. So anyway, he's got the GSP clause. The other thing I wanted to talk about was...
So that's basically a money clause.
He can renegotiate if the GSP fight happens. But GSP...
so I'm going to renegotiate...
Completely retire.
I'm going to renegotiate the contract.
For a GSP clause.
Yeah. But my clause would be for live. Like if I'm going live, it's negotiating after 5 episodes or something.
Negotiate after 5 episodes.
Yeah.
I'll put Zach on.
Yeah.
Zach's been on plenty of videos. The other thing I wanted to mention in the fight sport world is Andy Ruiz Jr., the first ever Mexican-American.
The funniest Mexican in the world.
He's apparently very funny, according to our friend Wayne. Heavyweight champion. Now, the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion should both not surprise you and surprise you. Because the truth is Mexico is probably the best boxing country in the world right now. But most of their fighters are lighter fighters.
Yeah, Mexicans aren't known to be like
huge guys.
6'6", 300 pounds. Or nothing.
Yeah. They're not huge guys. So that should and shouldn't surprise you.
And we are talking boxing. We're not talking UFC.
Cain Velasquez was the first, but he's also Mexican-American.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still is a heavyweight. So, shouldn't surprise anybody. But nonetheless, the fight was surprising. Let me tell you this. It's funny because people sort of are like claiming that they picked Ruiz now and that, they said this. I will say that there are a couple guys like Jack Slack, who's normally an MMA writer. He did show a couple. He's more of a technical writer about how people fight.
Before the fight,
he did call him Ruiz the fatty with the fast hands. So he did respect Ruiz's style and how fast he was. I don't think anyone was really picking Ruiz. Even I didn't because it was a short thing. But it's not surprising. And it was not like a Buster Douglas one-punch knockout. He knocked him down 3 times.
Yeah, he was popping him.
Yeah, he knocked him down 3 times. There's no reason to think that this couldn't happen again. I know that Anthony Joshua will be very careful.
Well,
a lot more defensive in the rematch. It's probably going to happen in England.
Did he punch himself out or something? Joshua, because he seemed like he was tired or something.
Well,
and that's why he fell extra time.
He just got punched really hard.
Yeah.
And then the fight slowed down a little bit, and then you get knocked down, you get tired
on
quicker.
The side, his equilibrium, right?
Yeah, the equilibrium. That's a great place to punch.
On the side of the ear.
So, hey, what I would say is don't be surprised if it happens again. Just don't expect it to happen again in the rematch.
Also, does this Ruiz? Does he like go on a little win streak here? Is he like...
No, he's going to have to fight Anthony Joshua again. He'll probably lose that fight.
Okay, so you're saying he's going to lose. No, he's going to get his butt kicked.
I don't know about that. I think Anthony Joshua is overrated, but I still think he's better than Ruiz. I think Ruiz, despite Ruiz being good, he's still like too short, doesn't have a big reach. You know what I mean? Where Anthony Joshua looks like a African English Greek god. You know what I mean? He's just cut. He's just
so he took Ruiz
huge,
lightly.
Huh?
He took Ruiz lightly.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe he didn't train as hard as he could have.
I mean, Ruiz is
But isn't Ruiz going to train harder now? And he's going to be more motivated? And
I think so.
More confidence? Because he's like, hey, man, I can do it. I could be the champ.
Yeah, he's done it once. There's no reason he can't do that again. It's not like it was a lucky punch. But the thing is, Ruiz got knocked down just before he knocked him down. So... it's really fun. I think what's the greatest thing about this is that heavyweight boxing is fun again because now you got Ruiz in the mix. Anthony Joshua has a whole country behind him. He's going to fill up Wembley Stadium probably on this rematch against Ruiz. You got Tyson Fury that's a great fighter with a great story behind him.
He's fun to watch, man.
And Deontay Wilder is the knockout king. I mean, Deontay Wilder, listen, I don't think Deontay Wilder is the best boxer in the world, but you could literally put him in with any heavyweight in history, including Mike Tyson, and he's got a chance to win because he has maybe the best power.
Tyson power?
He's probably has better power than Tyson, yeah. Tyson's probably a better boxer.
That was fun.
And more intense.
Those guys, the whole before the fight and all that stuff, the Fury, Wilder stuff, that's exciting.
And the fun thing was
they were messing with each other,
And the fun thing is even though they're messing and talking like that, they had so much respect for each other. They went out of their way to sign a rematch, even though they're in different promotions. One is signed by ESPN, and Wilder's signed by DAZN.
Nice.
So they went out of their way, proving that the Manny Pacquiao-Floyd shit that we had to deal with was bullshit, and proving that Anthony Joshua was full of shit too, because he's with Matchroom.
He just didn't want to. He basically knew he probably would lose.
That's what happened. They were like seasoning him and marinating the fight. They never should have done that. But okay, let's. You ready to cut it off?
I feel like we should have talked a little World Cup.
Oh yeah, Women's World Cup is starting.
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to do another show before then.
Well, we're going to do a show next week. It will be right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could preview it.
I mean, can we really? What do you know beyond the fucking U.S. team?
Well, I'm just saying, like
Germany's always good. That's what I know about women's soccer. I get excited to watch it.
No, it's gonna be, dude. World Cup's so fun, guys or girls.
I love to watch the Women's World Cup, but I don't know that much about it.
No, I know. It's hard to preview because it's gonna be like, here's the inside tip: USA is gonna win the World Cup. Thank you. I mean, because you only have, like, who'd you say?
Germany's always good. And Germany, then Japan seems to have put together stuff the last couple of years.
No, you have Germany, England.
Is England
France,
even good?
Yes. France, Germany, England, Japan is the only people that could beat them, and none of them could beat them. So it's like USA is gonna beat them. You're just gonna kind of see, like, how certain players are gonna play or something. But it's gonna, no matter what, it's gonna be fun as heck to watch. That's what I think about the World Cup.
I mean, that Women's World Cup is just always a great time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's cut this. I guess it's not cutting it short.
No, we had a good
show. It's a 35-minute show. Anyway, you can find us at Chaotic Sports on Twitter, at Chris Sarda on Twitter, and follow us on the YouTube channel. We'll start doing some live stuff there. Right now, we just post the podcast. We literally have only 4 subscribers on YouTube, but thousands listen to the podcast, and we love you. Thousands of listeners. You guys have a great day, and
that's it.
That's it.